In the heart of the Roman Empire, during the reign of Emperor Augustus, a peculiar event took place that has been largely forgotten by history, yet had profound implications for one particular legion and the very fabric of Roman pride. It was 9 AD when the Roman legions, under the command of General Publius Quintilius Varus, were stationed in Germania. Varus, a seasoned commander, was tasked with the difficult job of maintaining Roman control over the rebellious Germanic tribes. The Romans had recently expanded their territories and tensions were running high. A series of skirmishes had erupted between the Romans and the local tribes, but the Romans maintained a firm grip on their newly acquired lands, until one fateful day. As Varus and his legions patrolled the dense, foreboding forests of Germania, they faced an unexpected challenge. The Germanic tribes, led by a charismatic chieftain named Arminius, were not just resisting, they were plotting. Arminius, a man who had once served as an auxiliary in the Roman army, had gained Varus's trust. Little did Varus know, Arminius was a master strategist with plans to unite the Germanic tribes against the Roman invaders. This tension reached its peak when, in the late summer of that year, Varus received alarming reports of a large uprising forming in the region. Ignoring warnings and emboldened by his previous successes, Varus marched his 3 legions, approximately 20,000 men, into a trap set by Arminius. The Romans were accustomed to the discipline of formation and order, but in the wild, unfamiliar terrain of Germania, they would find themselves at a severe disadvantage. The Roman legions advanced into the Teutoburg Forest where they were ambushed. The battle that ensued was catastrophic for the Romans. The Germanic tribes, utilizing their knowledge of the land and striking swiftly, overwhelmed Varus's forces. The once proud legions found themselves disoriented and demoralized, falling one by one to the relentless attacks of the united Germanic warriors. But the most shocking blow to Roman pride came not just from the loss of lives, but from the disappearance of one of their most sacred symbols, the eagle standard. Each Roman legion carried an eagle known as the aquila, which represented the honor and spirit of the legion. When the last remnants of Varus's forces fell in battle, the eagle of the Roman legion, the Legio 17, was lost in the chaos. The eagle standard was not merely a piece of metal, it was a symbol of loyalty, honor, and the very identity of the legionaries. To lose it was to lose everything. As the dust settled and the echoes of battle faded, Arminius came upon the fallen battlefield. Among the dead Romans, he spotted the eagle, its gleaming bronze head tarnished but still majestic. He knew the significance of this trophy, not just for his people, but for the Romans themselves. With a triumphant roar, he lifted the eagle high above his head, rallying the Germanic tribes. They celebrated their victory, but Arminius understood that this was only the beginning of a much larger struggle. Meanwhile, back in Rome, news of the disaster reached the Senate. The loss of 3 legions and the eagle was a blow that shook the very foundation of Roman power. Emperor Augustus, known for his calculated approach to governance, was furious. He called an emergency meeting of his advisors. The Senate debated fiercely, each senator aware that this loss could embolden other tribes throughout the empire. The very notion of Roman invincibility was at stake. Augustus, keen on restoring Roman honor, dispatched a new general, Germanicus, to Germania. Germanicus was young, charismatic, and eager to prove himself. He understood the psychological impact of the lost eagle and made it his mission to retrieve it, not just to reclaim the symbol, but to send a clear message. Rome would not be challenged without consequence. As Germanicus prepared his campaign, he learned of the Germanic tribes' celebrations surrounding their victory. He plotted a surprise attack. Through clever maneuvering and the element of surprise, he led his troops into the heart of the Germanic territory, striking when they least expected it. On the night of the attack, as the Germans feasted and reveled in their victory, Germanicus's forces descended upon them, fierce and calculated. The Romans fought valiantly, and amidst the chaos, Germanicus spotted Arminius, who still clutched the eagle as a trophy. The two men, once allies, now stood on opposite sides of the battlefield. In a fierce confrontation, Germanicus challenged Arminius. The two engaged in a brutal fight, and as the battle raged around them, the fate of the eagle hung in the balance. In a moment of sheer determination, Germanicus managed to wrest the eagle from Arminius's grip. In the decisive battle between the Roman troops led by General Germanicus and the Germanic tribes under Arminius, Germanicus succeeds in reclaiming the eagle. Despite his victory, he realizes that Roman power is not invulnerable. Disappointed, Arminius retreats to unite the tribes and prepare for future conflicts. The story concludes with the understanding that the conflict between Rome and the Germans is far from over, as both sides brace themselves for new challenges, while the legend of Arminius and Germanicus enters the annals of history.